Hello, everyone. In today's insightful episode, we will be exploring the captivating world of hurricanes. These formidable and mesmerizing weather events have long held humanity in their grip, commanding our attention with their immense power and often devastating impacts, particularly along coastal regions. From the moment they form as swirling masses over warm ocean waters to their eventual landfall, hurricanes captivate our senses and evoke a mixture of awe and apprehension. While their sheer force can wreak havoc on communities and ecosystems, they also serve as a reminder of the immense forces at work in our natural world. Throughout history, civilizations have grappled with the destructive potential of hurricanes, implementing measures to mitigate their impact and protect lives and property. Yet, despite our efforts to understand and prepare for these storms, they remain unpredictable and, at times, overwhelming in their ferocity. Join us as we journey deeper into the heart of hurricanes, exploring their origins, characteristics, and the profound influence they wield on our planet. As we delve deeper into the topic of hurricanes, it's essential to gain a comprehensive understanding of these powerful weather phenomena. Hurricanes, also known as tropical cyclones or typhoons, depending on their location, are massive swirling storms characterized by strong winds and heavy rainfall. They typically form over warm ocean waters near the equator, where the sea surface temperature exceeds 26.5 degrees Celsius or 80 degrees Fahrenheit. The warm, moist air near the ocean surface rises and creates an area of low pressure, drawing in surrounding air and moisture. As the air continues to rise and cool, it condenses to form clouds and releases heat, further fueling the storm's intensity. With sustained wind speeds of at least 74 miles per hour, 119 kilometers per hour, hurricanes can unleash destructive forces upon coastal communities, causing widespread damage to infrastructure, homes, and natural habitats. Additionally, their heavy rainfall often leads to flooding, landslides, and other hazardous conditions, posing significant risks to human life and safety. Throughout history, hurricanes have left a lasting impact on communities worldwide, underscoring the need for preparedness, resilience, and effective disaster response measures. As we continue our exploration of the fascinating world of hurricanes, there are several intriguing facts which are certainly worth mentioning. One notable aspect is the naming conventions used for hurricanes. Since the 1950s, hurricanes in the Atlantic Basin have been given names from predetermined lists maintained by the World Meteorological Organization. These lists alternate between male and female names and are recycled every 6 years, with particularly destructive hurricanes having their names retired. Furthermore, hurricanes are classified into different categories based on their wind speed and potential damage. The Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale characterizes hurricanes from Category 1, with wind speeds of 74 to 95 miles per hour, to Category 5, with wind speeds exceeding 157 miles per hour, providing valuable information for assessing their severity and potential impact. Additionally, throughout history, there have been numerous memorable hurricanes that have left a lasting mark on communities. Hurricanes such as Katrina, Andrew, and Sandy are etched into the collective memory due to their devastating consequences, including loss of life, widespread destruction, and significant economic impacts. By understanding these naming conventions, categories, and historical hurricanes, we gain valuable insights into the complex and dynamic nature of these powerful storms. It's essential to familiarize ourselves with key English vocabulary associated with such powerful events. One crucial aspect is understanding hurricane names, which are used to identify and track individual storms. These names, as mentioned, which are chosen from predetermined lists, range from common names to more unique ones and are assigned in alphabetical order each hurricane season. Some well-known hurricane names include Katrina, Harvey, and Irma, which have left a significant impact on the communities they affected. Moreover, meteorological terms play a vital role in understanding the behavior and characteristics of hurricanes. For instance, the eye refers to the calm, circular center of a hurricane surrounded by the eye wall, where most of the intense winds and rainfall occur. Another important term is storm surge, which refers to the abnormal rise in seawater level during a hurricane, often leading to coastal flooding and widespread damage. Lastly, being prepared for hurricanes involves understanding disaster preparedness terms. This includes knowing when to evacuate, find shelter in designated areas, and assembling an emergency kit containing essential supplies, such as food, water, and medical supplies. By familiarizing ourselves with these key vocabulary words, we can better understand and navigate the complexities of a hurricane season, and ensure our safety and preparedness in the face of these formidable storms. When we discuss past hurricane events, we often rely on the past simple tense to recount the specifics of what happened. This tense is particularly effective for providing clear and straightforward accounts of significant events. For instance, when we say Hurricane Katrina struck New Orleans in 2005, we are using the past simple tense to convey a completed action that took place at a specific time in the past. This grammatical structure helps us to establish a timeline of events, making it easier to follow the sequence of occurrences during the hurricane. It also allows us to present facts and details with precision. For example, we might say, the hurricane caused widespread flooding and displaced thousands of residents. Here, the verbs caused and displaced are in the past simple tense, effectively illustrating the direct impact of the hurricane. By using this tense, we can vividly paint a picture of the hurricane's devastation, such as homes were destroyed and many people were left without shelter. The simplicity and clarity of the past simple tense are crucial in conveying the severity and aftermath of such catastrophic events. Thus, when documenting or discussing past hurricanes, the past simple tense becomes an invaluable tool in our linguistic arsenal, enabling us to recount these historical events accurately and effectively. Let's now consider conditional sentences and how they play a crucial role in discussing hypothetical hurricane scenarios, particularly when it comes to preparedness and response strategies. Conditional sentences, often introduced by if or when, allow us to explore various possible outcomes based on different conditions. For example, consider the sentence, "If a hurricane hits, we should evacuate immediately." This is a first conditional sentence, which is used to talk about real and possible situations in the future. It consists of two parts: the condition, if a hurricane hits, and the result, we should evacuate immediately. This structure is incredibly useful when planning for hurricane events, because it enables emergency responders, policymakers, and the general public to articulate clear, actionable plans based on potential future events. By using first conditional sentences, we can set guidelines and protocols that help mitigate the impact of hurricanes. Another example might be, if we receive a hurricane warning, we will secure all windows and doors. Here, the conditional sentence helps communicate a specific preparatory action that should be taken once a certain condition is met. The use of conditional sentences ensures that there is a logical and understandable plan of action that can be easily followed during the chaotic and often unpredictable nature of hurricane events. Moreover, these sentences help in educating communities about the importance of preparedness, emphasizing the steps to take to protect lives and property when faced with the threat of a hurricane. By mastering the use of conditional sentences, we enhance our ability to convey critical information effectively, ensuring that everyone knows what to do if a hurricane strikes. Furthermore, adjectives play a pivotal role in painting a vivid picture of the intensity and impact of these powerful storms. When describing hurricanes, adjectives such as devastating, catastrophic, and powerful are commonly employed to convey the severity of their effects. For instance, a hurricane might be described as devastating when it causes widespread destruction to communities, infrastructure, and ecosystems. Similarly, the term catastrophic is used to emphasize the scale of damage and loss associated with a particularly severe hurricane event. Moreover, the adjective powerful underscores the immense force and energy exerted by hurricanes, highlighting their potential to unleash destructive winds, storm surges, and torrential rainfall. These adjectives not only capture the magnitude of hurricanes, but also evoke emotional responses, fostering a deeper understanding of their impact on individuals and communities. By incorporating descriptive adjectives into discussions about past hurricane events, we can effectively convey the gravity of their effects and underscore the importance of disaster preparedness and resilience building efforts. Now let's take a few moments to consider scenarios and role plays set in the context of hurricane preparedness and response, crucial exercises for ensuring readiness and effective decision making in the face of these natural disasters. Imagine a scenario where a family living in a coastal area receives a hurricane warning. In this roleplay, family members gather to discuss their emergency plan. They review evacuation routes, pack essential supplies such as food, water, and medications, and secure their home by boarding up windows and securing other outdoor furniture. As they prepare to evacuate, they ensure that each family member knows their role and where to meet in case they get separated. Another scenario could involve local authorities conducting a hurricane preparedness drill in a community. Residents participate in the drill by practicing evacuation procedures, seeking shelter in designated locations, and communicating with emergency responders. This roleplay allows community members to familiarize themselves with evacuation routes, emergency shelters, and communication protocols, enhancing overall readiness and coordination. Furthermore, imagine a scenario where emergency responders deploy to a hurricane-affected area to provide assistance. In this roleplay, responders coordinate search and rescue efforts, provide medical aid to injured individuals, and distribute supplies to those in need. Through these scenarios and roleplays, individuals, families, and communities can better prepare for hurricanes, improve response capabilities, and ultimately save lives. By practicing these scenarios regularly, we can ensure that everybody knows what to do when faced with the threat of a hurricane, fostering resilience and readiness in the face of adversity. Listeners should be actively practicing spoken English by simulating conversations about various aspects of hurricane preparedness and response. One effective way to do this is by role-playing conversations centered around hurricane evacuation plans, emergency shelter procedures, or community relief efforts. For example, listeners could simulate a conversation between family members discussing their evacuation plan, prompting questions like, if a hurricane were to approach, where would we evacuate to? Or, who is responsible for packing the emergency supplies? Can guide their discussion. An example dialogue might sound like this. Hey, have you heard about the hurricane warning for this weekend? Yes, I saw the news. We should start preparing our evacuation plan. Agreed. Where should we evacuate to if it comes? I think we should go to Aunt Jane's house. It's inland and has a hard, sturdy basement. Yes, that's a good idea. I'll pack the emergency kit with water, food, and flashlights. And I'll make sure to secure the windows and doors before we leave. Listeners can also simulate conversations about emergency shelter procedures. For instance, they could practice discussing what to bring to a shelter and how to interact with shelter staff. A prompt like, what items should we pack in our shelter bag, could guide their conversation. An example dialogue could go something like this. I heard that they're planning to open the local high school as an emergency shelter. Yes, that's good to know. What should we bring with us? Well, maybe we could bring some blankets, pillows, toiletries, and a change of clothes. Yes, also don't forget important documents like IDs and insurance papers. Yes, you're exactly right. I'll grab those too. And we should follow any instructions from the shelter staff when we get there. Lastly, listeners can simulate conversations about community relief efforts, discussing ways to volunteer or support those affected by hurricanes. Prompts like, how can we help our neighbors after a hurricane, can guide their discussion. An example dialogue might go something like this. I feel so helpless seeing the devastation caused by the hurricane. Well, we can help by volunteering at the local shelter or perhaps donating supplies. That's a really good idea. Let's organize a community drive to collect food and clothing. Yes, and we can offer assistance to elderly or disabled neighbours who may need that extra help. Absolutely, every little bit helps in times like these. By practicing these simulated conversations, listeners can improve their English speaking skills while also gaining valuable knowledge about hurricane preparedness and community resilience. In this episode, we've delved into the critical role of hurricane awareness and preparedness, highlighting the importance of being informed, proactive, and resilient in the face of these formidable natural disasters. We began by discussing the characteristics of hurricanes using descriptive adjectives such as devastating, catastrophic, and powerful to underscore their potential impact. We then explored the use of conditional sentences to discuss hypothetical hurricane scenarios, emphasizing the need for clear and actionable plans in the event of a hurricane strike. From role-playing evacuation plans to simulating conversations about emergency shelter procedures and community relief efforts, we've underscored the value of practicing spoken English to enhance preparedness and response capabilities. Throughout the episode, we have emphasized the significance of staying informed about hurricane forecasts and heeding evacuation orders from local authorities. Additionally, we've stressed the importance of having a comprehensive emergency kit, securing property, and having a communication plan in place to ensure the safety of individuals and families. We've also highlighted the role of community resilience and solidarity in weathering the impact of hurricanes, encouraging listeners to support one another and lend a helping hand during times of crisis. Ultimately, by raising awareness, fostering preparedness, and promoting community engagement, we can better mitigate the risks posed by hurricanes and ensure the safety and well-being for all those in their path. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to encourage all our listeners to take some time to review the vocabulary and grammar topics we've discussed in relation to hurricanes. Understanding and mastering these linguistic elements not only improves our English skills, but also enhances your ability to communicate effectively about hurricane preparedness and response. Whether it's practicing adjectives to describe hurricane characteristics, using conditional sentences to discuss hypothetical scenarios, or engaging in role plays to simulate conversations about evacuation plans and emergency procedures, every bit of practice contributes to your readiness in the face of these natural disasters. As an additional point, I encourage all of you to stay informed about hurricane season updates and forecasts. Keep an eye on weather advisories, follow updates from local authorities, and heed evacuation orders when necessary. Being proactive and staying informed is key to staying safe and resilient during hurricane season. Remember, preparedness saves lives. So, let's all do our part to be informed, prepared, and ready to face whatever challenges may come our way during hurricane season. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, stay safe and stay informed. But just before we cut off for today, I want to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude to all of our listeners for tuning in and exploring the world of hurricanes with us. We hope that you found this episode informative and engaging, and we look forward to bringing you more insightful content in the future. I'd like to remind all our listeners to subscribe to the podcast for future episodes on a wide range of topics designed to help improve your listening skills. Our goal is to provide you with engaging and informative content that not only enhances your English language proficiency, but also expands your knowledge in various subjects. Whether it's discussing hurricanes or perhaps exploring historical events, diving into cultural topics, or learning about current affairs, there's something for everyone. By subscribing, you'll ensure that you never miss an episode and continue to sharpen your listening abilities with each new installment. So hit that subscribe button and join us in this exciting journey of language learning exploration. Thank you very much for your support, and we look forward to having you with us for many more episodes to come.